for Families United in Educational Leadership is Jean Miller. Thank you.
Thank you. And Judy, you were going to do that first light for me. Okay, could there be a tougher spot than to be the last speaker after a long day and a fabulous lunch? But so I'm going to try something a little different. The first thing is that I love the topic of this conference. So I Googled on my computer the definition of empowerment to make sure I had it right. And this is what I came up with. Empowerment, to invest power. Empowerment, to give someone a sense of confidence, self-esteem. Women empowerment. It often involves development of one's own confidence in their own capabilities. So I thought I would tell you a story of two women and empowerment. The first woman's story is that of Nishan. Nishan is Ethiopian, as was the custom in her community and her country. She had an arranged marriage at age 15. Nishan had a long, hard road to U.S. citizenship, via India, many jobs, long hours, and dream, luck, circumstance, and many people came together to craft a path for her to come to the United States. She's a single mom, head of household, with 4 kids, works long hours, 2 jobs, and has some education that she acquired in India as well as at Bunker Hill Community College. Her eldest 2 sons remained in Ethiopia for many years and were raised by her mother and her sisters. When the mom died, Nishan was fortunate enough to pull together enough dollars to bring her boys to the United States, where they joined her in Chelsea, Massachusetts. They were high school aged at the time, and they came to Chelsea High School. Chelsea High School, there was reservation amongst the family because there's a 49% graduation rate at Chelsea High School. And only 22% of the students at Chelsea High go on to any form of higher education. Her sons had ambition for college. They had grades and were serious students. They brought leadership into the Chelsea community, but nonetheless they saw no direct path to college. You see, at Chelsea High there is 1 guidance counselor for every 450 students. Enter Families United in Educational Leadership. FUEL, we call ourselves. We're an innovative and ambitious, high-performing not-for-profit. We're in the asset development business. We're all about pulling together the social, economic, and human capital for a family to find their way to having a student go on to college. We believe that one of the best ways out of poverty is through education. We're a family-centered organization, and what we do is we ask the families that participate in our program to save, which we will match. We ask that they have their student participate in an after-school program, and we ask the families to come together in Saving Circle on a monthly basis, where we provide so much of the pathway. What we want to do is build the assets for a family like a family might have here in Wellesley. Understanding navigating the complexity of what it takes to get a kid out of high school and into college. The applications, the FAFSAs, the funding maze, how to use your school guidance counselor, how to have bank accounts, savings, financial literacy, on is what happens in our saving circles. We match fund the savings of our low-income families for college to incent behavior. It's a nominal sum, $25 a month. It becomes $1,500 in total that the family saves during the course of their time with us, and with our match savings, it becomes $3,000. And while $3,000 is a lot of money, in many ways it's not just the money, because the money attracts the family. I mean, where else are you going to get 100% return on your money? But at the same time, in those saving circles, we're able to illuminate a path, how to get to college. Think about it. For $1,500, we're able to light that path for a family to get someone to go to college, and often it's first in family to go. The money is out there for low-income families to attend college with Pell Grants and Mass Grants, but it's very hard to understand how you get there. And more often than not, a family or a student finds their way at the end of high school instead of the beginning. We think that's not a good idea. Wouldn't it be smarter to understand this at the beginning when you can change your behavior? Fuel, we often say, we look at ourselves and we say, we personify a pathway very much like the pathway that was open to Nishan to bring her to the United States in the first place. We were founded by Bob Hildreth, who's an economist. He has a finance background. He's a social innovator, very visionary, a good man, and a man who contributed resources to founding Fuel. His initial foray into this business was Levita, and Levita was a more hands-on model that's the basis of our organization. In Lynn, we've just had our first cohort of kids graduate from Levita, 12 first in family to attend college. We love our results. 61 college acceptances for these 12 kids, $2.6 million in scholarship money. So Fuel was created to be an overarching organization. We know what we do works, we're into replication, and we're into advocacy and social policy change. We've built a larger footprint in the last year. We now have 325 students. Our largest footprint is in Chelsea, where we have 200 students. We're in Boston through partnerships with BCNC, Boston Chinatown Neighborhood Community, Hyde Square, Camp Harborview, so that we have, our goal is to expand and build a large enough footprint so that we will then have a good footprint for change. So as we pull together the aspirational path for our families, one of the things that we've come up with is the Chelsea Compact. And this is about creating aspirational scholarships. We're saying, gosh, does it make sense to have scholarships at the end of high school? Wouldn't it be smarter to have them at the beginning so that families would know we need to change our behavior because we want that? Our good friends at UMass Amherst and Bunker Hill Community College agreed with us. And they have given us 25 full scholarships annually to announce at the beginning of high school at Chelsea. Wait, did I say that right? The beginning of high school in Chelsea. So that we know, as we introduce to our new 9th grade students this year, that we can say 25 of you in this room have the opportunity to full ride. It's already here for you. Nishan's sons were some of our earliest Fuel kids. They became our first 2 Chelsea Compact recipients. I'm thrilled to say that they are both on full rides at UMass Amherst. One plans to be a doctor, the other a dentist. We couldn't ask for more wonderful first recipients. I love the fact that you'll see them in the slides here, you can't mistake them. And they announced to the Chelsea community that the first thing they were going to do was take their Chelsea Sparkle and Shine over to Amherst, which is where they are. So you'll see some slides going that are going in the background of our work, of Bob Hildreth, our saving circles, and Nishan's family. When I started this, I said I was talking about 2 women, so I'm going to tell you about the second woman, who's also a mom. Very different story. A finance background, was an EVP of a bank, had her own consulting business, and somewhere she crossed paths with founder Bob Hildreth. One thing led to another, and now she's his chief operating officer, and that woman is me. My job is very strategic. The first and foremost is to implement Bob's vision. Secondly, I work to create partnerships all along the way. To be in the replication business and our ambition, we need to have partnerships all around us, after school programs, like one that's here today, Choice Through Education, that is on the street with us in Chelsea. And I work on things like the Chelsea Compact and banks and what have you. We have national plans and an ambitious agenda because we want to transform the scholarship paths that already exist, but make them more productive, more transparent, and work harder. Why shouldn't the Pell Grant be readily understood at the outset of high school? And why shouldn't it require some behavior that would help one achieve it? You know, I grew up in Georgia. And it's funny, all my friends, we watched Cinderella. All my friends wanted to be Cinderella. Me, I wanted to be the fairy godmother. And when Bob offered me the position, it was the first thing that came to my mind was, wow, here's a chance. I know the power of money and finance from my past jobs, but I've learned the power of the joy of empowerment from the present one. Fuel is all about empowerment. Our families, more often than not, are women single head of households like Nishan. And we create a path to college for these families. And what I can tell you personally is there is great joy in this sort of work. And I've been thinking about all of you here and wondering, why are you here? And I guess I think students, career changers, people looking to enrich their lives, to take something on the side. What I would say is that if Fuel happens to strike your fancy, we welcome funders, partners, ideas, supporters. But there's so many ways for all of you to make a difference and be involved in the empowerment business, whether it be part-time, full-time, extracurricular. I bet you if I asked Sue Clark in Choice Through Education if she could throw out one idea right now, she would have one.
We need help with development badly, grant-wise.
Okay, all right, so there's one action right there.
Working with Fuel is great.
And thank you for that. You know, I began with the definition of empowerment and the story of two women. But I want to leave you with a tangible evidence and an image of empowerment. And so I'm going to pick on my colleague, Allie Stahl, who reluctantly agreed to share something with you, and that comes from Nishan's family. You see, Nishan was so excited, and her son so excited about the pathway and the empowerment that they felt. They wanted to do something special for the Fuel staff. So they contacted their family back in Ethiopia, and one of the relatives spun the cotton, and another relative embroidered, and they came up with a whole group of clothing for everyone at Fuel that they knew. And I asked Allie to bring hers, because hers was the most beautiful, I thought. So if you wouldn't mind standing up.
Jean asked me to do a lot of things. She wanted me to wear this, and it is beautiful, but it's a little see-through.
So she said no.
And she handmade this, their aunt.
So at first I was horrified as I saw them. They came to one of our savings circles and they handed out all this beautiful clothing. And then I quickly realized the gratitude that it represented, as well as the true empowerment that they felt that they could give back. We've opened a future for this family out of economic hardship. We have an ambitious agenda, illuminating that pathway, lighting the fire, getting families to have their first in family to go to college. We work hard on the political scene to reshape and in our advocacy efforts, the scholarship system. It makes sense, and we're having good political results. We know our program is effective, it's powerful and transformative, both for families and for society. We have big plans so that there can be a multitude of Nishans and that there can be a world full of dresses. Thank you.
There is no doubt